Welcome back to a new episode where we are going to create a blur effect on an image. A blurred background brings more emphasis to the main subject of the photo. The output will be something like this. The image will have a blur overlay, and whenever we hover on it, the default picture will be shown. For the people that did not watch the previous episodes, we basically created a div in a grid layout system. So let's do that right now. Let's create a div with a class name called hoverbox-blur. Let's hit tab, let's hit enter. We want the images to be clickable, so let's create an anchor. And inside the anchor, I want to place an image. I also need a source for my image, so let's go back to the browser. Let's go to pixabay.com. And well, you can search for whatever picture you want. I will actually choose a wine picture. This actually looks pretty good. The next thing that you need to do is to right click on it, open the image in a new tab, copy the URL, and paste it right in the source. Let's save it, and for now we're done in our HTML. So let's go to the style sheet, and right below our previous styling, let's create a comment, and let's say blur effect. Now, in order to add the blur effect, we need to style the class called HVR-box-blur img. Now CSS has a pretty cool styling which is called filter. So let's write that down, followed by a colon, space, semicolon. And this is a powerful tool that we can use to achieve varying visual effects. There are multiple filters that you could add, such as blur, brightness, contrast. Well, I can actually show them to you. So let's remove the semicolon, colon. Let's write it down one more time. And right here, you can see the list that you can use. So you got UI rotate, blur, contrast, custom, and so on. Hit backspace again and click on tab. So we get our Webkit filter as well. And we want to call a function called blur, followed by parentheses. And inside the parentheses, we need to specify the weight of the blur. So if we say, for instance, 1 pixels, and you can see that, well, a weird blur has been applied to our image. Well, let's set it equal to 5 pixels. Save it. Refresh the browser. And you can see that, well, it really works right now. I usually like to work around 1 or 2. So let's set it equal to 2. Save it. Refresh it. Since it's not possible to use it on all browsers, we need to create our Webkit as well. Well, that's actually what we did, but we need to copy paste it 2 more times. And we need to change the second one to MS, because we want it to work on Internet Explorer as well. And in order for it to work on Firefox, we need to change the third one to Moz for Mozilla Firefox. We also need to add a transition because whenever we hover over it, we want the actual image to be visible. So let's say transition, hit tab. And what we want to do is to set the transition equal to all, 0.6 seconds, so 0.6 seconds, and we want it to ease. And the last thing that we need to add is on the line below, and that's called a dash Webkit dash backface dash visibility. And we need to set this equal to hidden. So let's save it, refresh the browser now, and if we hover over the image, you can see that nothing is happening. And in order for this to work, we need to add a hover effect. So let's go back to our style sheet. We can basically copy paste our styling. And right after the image, we need to write colon hover. Instead of saying blur 2 pixels, we need to set it equal to 1 because whenever we hover over the image, we want the blur to be equal to nothing. So let's replace them all, save it, refresh the browser, and let's hover over the image. And this is pretty cool because whenever we hover over it, we get a smooth transition to the actual image. This was it for this episode. If you do enjoy my content and you want to see more, leave this video a thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button.